The first thing you consider is how business would just shift completely. And not only the structure inside the business, but how interbusiness relationships work, how businesses interact with their market, what exactly a market would be under a STEM economy, and how this would all kind of play out. Because one, everybody's being taken care of. All right. Two, everybody has everything that they need. So everybody is self-actualizing. So you're not dealing with, you're not dealing with marketing to people that don't have self-esteem, which a lot of advertisement is focused on. You're pointing out that, hey, you need our product so you can feel better about yourself. And so under an economy, you're dealing with a completely different audience. You're dealing with people that are actualizing. You're dealing with people that know who they are on the most fundamental, psychologically stable sort of level here. So we're not dealing with your traditional social structure. My mouth is so dry I can barely talk right now. Okay. So moving on, because that is the landscape we're talking about, we have a few obvious, side effects here. One of them is that advertisement sort of isn't going to be what it used to be. And that means that marketing, like the marketing and advertisement whole sector, the entire branch of marketing and advertisement sort of is reduced to more of a, I'm not sure exactly how this would reduce. I would assume that it would be more of a sort of a word of mouth sort of communique. People have something that we need, or there's some sort of project, and a lot of this would happen online as well. So you have some company A that has, okay, let's rewind for a second here. I don't think we're going to have necessarily companies either, because a company sort of supposes that you have this kind of hierarchical leadership structure of a unit that is, it really is an exclusive sort of deal, right? That's what a company is. You don't work for us, right? So you are outside of our company. And you can't just go around and get a job with anybody. You can't go just start working and join some group that's producing, whatever you're interested in helping produce. So we're dealing with a completely different, I keep saying it's a different landscape. It's a completely different mode of production and distribution. So one of the biggest things here is that your marketing and advertisement, I think, just goes away as dinosaurs. You don't have advertisement anymore. And let's talk about this just for a second. Before we go further into how a company structure or how companies, I think you're looking more at a sort of collective. We're dealing more with collectives now. We're not looking at exclusive companies. We're looking at inclusive, interoperable collectives. So before we go further, let's talk about advertisement, okay? Because this is sort of a really unique side effect that I think would happen here. One, manipulative advertisement just does not exist. It could not. You're living in a society where everybody's self-actualizing, right? So everybody knows who they are, everybody knows what they're doing to contribute back to society. So you don't have people that are, first of all, going to be swayed by manipulative advertisement or by, having issues with truth in advertisement. You don't have that sort of problem. But not only that, because the market is not financially driven anymore, okay, because we're dealing with a feedback loop, right, this social auto-actualization, the financial drives to do anything like that just don't exist anymore. So not only are the millions, billions, trillions, whatever, right, of dollars that the world spends on advertising, and that energy, all that manpower, everything about it is turned around and refocused on productivity and collective synergism and doing what's best for the whole and making the world a better place. That's a side effect. Like that's what the fallout is. I guess it's not really fallout. That's what the side effect is here, though. You are getting rid of this sort of. Okay, so the side effect is that you're refocusing energy away from these deceptive marketing practices into what is more productive and healthy for a society. Now, speaking of deceptive and shifting marketing practices, spam completely disappears. Now, I don't know if you've looked this up before. Here, I'm gonna have to take a quick moment and check this out, but the percentage of internet traffic that is directly let's just find out really fast. Percentage of internet traffic that is spam. Okay, the original poster is providing these just completely different stats from different sources. And the answer, the one that has been given the answer, says some of these statistics seem to be, okay, FYI, just so you know, this is skeptics.stackexchange.com. The question is, what percentage of total internet traffic is spam? Asked by Going, like what you would think, Going, and edited by SK Lives with 2 V's and a Z. Let's see. The answer was by somebody named APOORV020. Some of these statistics seem to be widely used due to several botnet takedowns by Microsoft along with law enforcement agencies. Reduced spam amounts drastically for a few weeks, but they seem to creep up again. This article, for example, says global spam is at 88% of emails. Global spam, 88% of emails, but spam fell by a third after the Rustock botnet takedown by Microsoft. The source seems to be Message Labs, an anti-spam brand of Symantec. They use statistics from servers running their software. Another good source seems to be MAWG, MAAWG, sounded weird, which use confidential data from ISPs, mail providers, etc. to collect statistics on about 500 million mailboxes. They estimate spam from between 88 to 91% of email traffic. So that's what I thought it was. It's pretty close to ridiculous, okay? So all of that manpower, all of that bandwidth, all of that data, all of that just useless information goes just gone because that financial drive disappears. Think of how much energy and manpower and like mental work and just deceptive practices go into producing this bullshit. Under a STEM economy, spam would not exist, at least not the way that we have it now. And if it does, it would be probably more, politically motivated, and it would be such a minuscule, small amount that it would not even be a bother. We were wasting so much energy and time on this shit. We have entire facilities dedicated to spam detection. If you think, okay, so let's rewind just for a minute. Okay, we're already taking about, simply by converting to a currency-free economic system, or right, the STEM economy, we are removing 35 to 45% of manpower, energy usage, right? Just mental exertion, everything that is directly related to keeping the currency-driven economy going. We are taking that and redirecting it towards a collective progressive mindset. Now we're getting rid of, just as a byproduct, okay, just as a side effect here, we're getting rid of advertisement, basically. Most of what advertisement is. The manipulative practices, the spam, the nonsense, okay, all this sort of stuff, we're taking that and redirecting it towards social progression. So I am going to have to look at the numbers on this and try to figure it out. But now we just have moved from 45% of all, workforce, exertion, mental effort, energy, consumption, all of that, and redirecting that as well. So we just bumped up to, without sticking my foot in my mouth, we're going at least over 50% of all, like, just general human effort is being totally redirected to progression, production, scientific advancements, helping each other, making the world a better place. Like, that is a lot of manpower, right? That's like mind-blowing how much of a difference the society would be under a STEM economy. Also, along the same lines of spam, robocalls, cold calling, all that goes away. Because if you don't have financial drives, most of all of the rest of these sectors of industry that we were just wasting our time on disappear. And all that wasted energy and silly nonsense that people are working on hard every day, those efforts are being redirected to progress.